I talked to Becky and Vlatko about the challenges that the defense hasn't faced in the games, and how they've been able to not face a lot of shots, a lot of pressure. And they said that to get ready for Tokyo, the best preparation that they get is playing against you and Morgan and all the rest, Rose, etc. So I wondered if you could tell me from your perspective what makes the back line, the back four, and a difficult group to challenge, to go against.
Well, because I think they're probably some of the best back four in the world. They're the reason that we're able to do what we do in the attack, first and foremost. And, like Becky said and others have said, I do think that the competition that we get in our training sessions is what, makes them so great, but also makes us so great as well. That's the reason why we're so good in the attack, is we get to go up against them every single day in training. So yeah, I guess that's that's the easiest answer that kind of helps me out there, huh?
All right, let's go to, and I might add, Mike, the few shots might have something to do with the back line as much as it does the opponent. So
I would agree with that.
Let's go to Steve Goff. Go ahead, Steve.
Lindsey, this is largely the same group that was at the World Cup a couple of years ago, but what are there things that are maybe a little bit different about this unit that you've noticed over the last year or so that now heading into the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a glimpse of it today. I think the bravery and trying to play as much as possible. I think I said this in another interview before, but this team's transition in the attack is incredible, and I think one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. So it's now like adding another layer to what we can do, and I think you saw some of the combination play today and the 1-2s, the cheeky flicks, etc. So just adding another evolution to our game and how we can play with having the transition in our back pocket and knowing that we can always be the best team in the world at that.
Great, thanks.
Thanks. Jonathan Tannenwald, go ahead.
Thanks, Aaron. Lindsey, we heard from Becky a few minutes ago about the crowd today and the last
Oh,
game
they were amazing.
you guys have played. I wonder, what it's going to be like going back to empty stadiums now, and whether that is any psychological adjustment.
It won't be entirely empty.
I was going to say
because they're allowing 10,000 fans max, as long as it's not more than 50% of the venue. So there will be fans there. There won't be many. Lindsey?
At least as of now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly less of an atmosphere than you've had.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a bummer, obviously. But I think we kind of knew this going into it, and we're lucky that games are going on and that we get to go compete for an Olympic gold medal. So I think that's first and foremost. Secondly, the fans that sent us off today were absolutely amazing. 27,000.
Yeah.
I think that gave us this incredible feeling going off to Japan and playing for them. Obviously, I think we've had a year and plus, playing without fans, so I think we know what it's like. And we're gonna go out and play the same way we would normally.
There was for you in this game today. There was a point in time, at least it looked from afar like you were playing a right center back in a 3-4-3, and maybe it was temporary. But was that in fact the case? And if so, what was it like, and what was the conversation about it?
I in fact was not a right center back. That's
just a comment on her mobility. She's just everywhere.
That's why.
Yeah, I'll let Haifa answer that one for me.
The ball was probably there, so she went to get it.
The ball was there, so I went and got it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to Gary Washburn. Go ahead, Gary.
Hi, I asked Becky this question, more general question, about the amount of outstanding, amazing women athletes that are going to Tokyo for the American team in all sports. How motivating is that? And I think people have kind of pointed out that it's one of the first Olympics to where most of the premier athletes are women. And what does it say about the advancement of women's sports, and how motivating is that?
Oh, very. I think it's such a cool thing, and I even had a friend that's also from Colorado that just qualified for the Olympics as well, and I almost teared up.
Who's that?
Annie Coons.
In what sport?
Heptathlon, sorry. Yeah, so it is like one, seeing another friend of mine that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's actually qualified is something very motivational for me and inspiring. But like you said, I'm sure Becky answered it as well. But seeing other women, seeing other U.S. athletes going there, and knowing that we're all competing for our country is absolutely incredible. And I think that's what makes the Olympics a little bit more different than the World Cup.
Carlos Eustace, you're up. Go ahead.
Hi, Lindsey. First of all, congrats on the goal. That was a beauty. I'm going to put it as a screensaver on my computer or something. I want to talk about that moment because in 2019, the last time I was actually able to talk to you, you were coming off a hard time physically and mentally on your game. You were coming off the bench. You were not one of the main starters. Today, you're not only dominating on the NWSL, you're also dominating on the national team. What was your approach to get to this level, which is with what most of us have always expected of you?
Yeah, it's hard. Just to keep going, to keep pushing, and I think we all know that being at this level and staying consistent and competing as a starter and getting minutes and getting time, it's never easy. And because we have such incredible players competing for the same spot, it's what makes this so challenging and what makes it the national team, and especially U.S. women's national team. So I think that's been my approach, and to stay confident and calm and composed, I think have been my biggest strengths. And honestly, finding whatever this team needs from me and how I can impact it, and sometimes that's playing the six as well. So yeah, I think that's been my biggest approach this past year.
Awesome. Last couple for Lindsey. We'll go to Robert Rogers. Go ahead.
Hey, can you just elaborate on your goal and then the lead up to your goal with the?
I think you might have said lead up to the goal with the flick, maybe from Carly.
Carla, she just set it up perfectly for me. I don't know who hit it to Carly, but I've been waiting for a volley all my life.
Waiting for that volley.
Waiting for that volley. You guys don't know how often I work on volleys, half volleys, any kind of volleys. They're my favorite shot to hit. So, yeah, I was a little excited when that opportunity came, and thank goodness I didn't miss it. So, no, it was honestly perfect flick from Carly, and, yeah, just a volley in the back of the net.
Rocco told them how often you work on it, so they.
So they know.
Yeah, so they know.
Yeah, I'm sure he gave me crap for it.
Yeah. No. He was loving it.
Okay.
Last one goes to Steph Young. Go ahead, Steph.
Thanks, Horan. And Lindsey, Alyssa and Tierna have mentioned compartmentalization. Becky just talked about the bubble, which is something I know some of the vets on this team have mentioned before. And in the tournament atmosphere, you stay in the bubble, you don't let anything in or out. As a team, what does it take mentally in terms of, mental energy and group focus to maintain that? And how do you guys go about doing that, especially when some of you may need more or less energy in order to do that compartmentalization?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we were in the Challenge Cup last year where we were also in the bubble, and being at a World Cup where a lot of the time you can't go out of the hotel and can't go do normal things because of the fan base that is there. I don't think this is that unnormal, and I think the pure focus is on women winning the Olympics and this month ahead of us, if that's how long we're there. So yeah, I think it's hard sometimes when maybe you can't get that mental release and whatnot, but at the same time I think we all have each other. We all have the same goal here, and the Olympic gold medal is the main focus, and that's what we're striving for. So the bubble sucks at times, but we know what we're in for, and yeah, we're going to do whatever we can to go win that gold.